Declutter your way to success. A guide for busy mompreneurs. What's going on, y'all? It's Danette Moss, business systems and implementation strategist, aka the strategy lady over at Let's Talk Strategies, home of the SaaS Factor. And I'm so excited as always to jump in and share some things that I believe God Himself gave to me, but also to share this particular topic because I've been on several different platforms today: Clubhouse, hanging out with the mompreneur, and Breakfast with Champions, and all of the above. And the topic was on this topic, and I was just smiling because it was my topic for the day, all about decluttering. Again, we're going to talk about decluttering your way to success, a guide for busy mompreneurs. And first, I want to kind of talk about the definition of a mompreneur or explain what that is. I can remember years ago when I was out on LinkedIn and I used the terminology mompreneur, I had women that really argue with me and debate all about it. Of course, they weren't my customers, but they did not like the fact that I put it together, and they just went through so many unnecessary changes for nothing. They weren't my client in a nutshell. But I feel the need to talk about a mompreneur, what she is, who she is as it pertains to this decluttering piece. So, a mompreneur, of course, is a combination of the words mom and entrepreneur. Often she does what? She's juggling multiple roles and responsibilities in her personal and professional life. So, to gain clarity, declutter, and reorganize and prioritize your life, her life, as a mompreneur, I want to share some steps that I believe you should take when it comes to decluttering your way to success, the guide for busy mompreneurs. The first step is, first and foremost, I truly believe that mompreneur needs to do a bit of self reflecting. So, self reflection is step one. So, what do I mean by self reflection? You need to begin by reflecting on your personal and your professional goals. I spoke about it the other day. If those goals are not written down, well, then what are you doing? Write the vision and make it plain so them that see it can run with it, but nobody else can run with it first if you can't see it. So, begin to reflect on your personal and your professional goals, values, and your priorities. That's going to be key. This will help you to determine what's most important and, of course, establish a clear vision for your future. That's that, write that vision and make it plain so you can see it, right? The second step is to, of course, set SMART goals. We hear about it. Everyone's seen that acronym SMART, SMART. Yes, it does spell out SMART, but it means some things. It means that you should be creating specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. And if these things are not relevant and really truly achievable, they're too far out where you can really reach them. Yeah, we should challenge ourselves, but we need to be realistic, right? You need to put them there. Those goals need to be set, in my opinion, using that SMART methodology for both, not just your business, but for your personal as well. I really truly believe that they fit in every aspect of our life because as moms who run businesses, let's be real, we can't separate our business from our life. It's always intertwined, all it mingles all together in a nutshell. So now, when you do this using the SMART methodology, you will find that it will provide you focus and a sense of direction, right? Now, after you do and you utilize the SMART methodology, now you can go back and want the next step of helping you to declutter yourself, declutter the mind, declutter your office, declutter relationships. This is a big topic that fits in so many different realms. You can begin to break things down, right? Break down your goals into tasks. Break down the goals into smaller, manageable tasks to make them less overwhelming as that mompreneur. Assign deadlines to them and allot specific times to each task so you can stay on track. Even when it comes to those household tasks, y'all, you got to do it. It'll help you set things up to even put your children in training mode too. When you outline things a certain way, you're training them the proper way of doing things. Once you break these goals down, that will allow you to declutter and get clear with clarity. Now you can begin to prioritize the task. Now, I generally will share other things that you can use. There's an Eisenhower Matrix that you may want to check out, which divides the task into 4 categories. So you can take and put a big plus, right? Or cross on a sheet of paper, right? And you can categorize things by the sense of urgency or the importance of the things that need to be done. They may not necessarily be urgent, but they still may be more important than the other thing. Prioritizing those tasks would allow you, of course, to focus on the most urgent one, but you need to see it. You got to see it. Now that you have used a SMART methodology, list it down what's most important, what's urgent, what's more priority. When you look at the decluttering phase of it, you can look at what is it that we're trying to declutter. Is it things that are physical things? Is your house out of whack? Is your email out of whack? It needs to be decluttered. Is your desk all crazy? Is your mind, that mental piece, cluttered with just a bunch of stuff, a bunch of what ifs, a but of it ain't gonna work because somebody else told you and they not doing it. And they depended on a 9 to 5, and yeah, they may have been successful until they got fired or quit, and now they're trying to figure things out. See, things will jump back into people later on, so you don't worry about that. But what you do worry about is decluttering that negative energy out of your space. So we're speaking from the mental and the physical when we speak about decluttering. This again can include cleaning, organizing your workspace, eliminating distractions. I've been talking about that at least twice this week. Addressing any emotional or mental clutter. That's going to be golden, because if you got emotional and mental clutter, you're not going to be able to focus on your business, let alone your loved ones. You're just not going to be able to do it. You're going to be frustrated, upset all the time, mad at things that you can begin to get some control over. And then it may rub off on other people. And it's just not fair, right? So now, just to kind of intermix some things in that I think we need to intermix in or put in honor of the Women's History Month. We can learn from women in history. Many of them, the ones that I've been speaking about, have been successful. We think about Marie Kondo and Barbara Hemphill, how they use decluttering. They use a decluttering technique to achieve their success. So Marie, she's known as for her KonMari method of decluttering. So what that is it involves keeping only the items that spark joy, right? So that's that physical stuff. So I got stuff all around me. If it's just not going to do anything for me, that doesn't spark joy, she gets rid of it. I ain't there yet, because there still may be some things that I need, right? May not spark joy. It may be some things that I need to focus on, but I may put it to a certain place. Put it in a place where I can get to it and, see it later on, and put it on my to-do list so that I can remember I'm pulling for something here. I'm trying to find something that somebody spoke about earlier in a room earlier on Breakfast with Champions. She used a lot of acronyms a little earlier that were very helpful, but she uses Marie's stuff is all about sparking joy, keeping the things that only spark joy. Now, Barbara, she developed the PLACE system, PLACE, for organizing and decluttering, which stands for purge, locate, assign, contain, and evaluate. Now, those are some good ones. It probably kind of speak to some of the ones that some of the people shared earlier today while we were on Clubhouse that were very, very good. And using that purge, locate, assign, contain, and evaluate, they kind of speak for themselves, right? Purge. What do you need to get rid of that you're not using? Okay. They talked about the prom method earlier. P stood for purge. And I think about clothing items that I don't wear anymore. I think about, paperwork that's just sitting around I'm not using. I think about, emails that, and now I do struggle in that area. Emails that I haven't opened, lists that I'm using, all of these things that create a sense of anxiety, right? These are the things that you need to be thinking about and looking at purging, right? When I think about the L for locate, I mean, that could come in so many different realms. What location, I mean, where are they located? And how are you going to assign them, right? Is this a personal thing? Is this a professional or business thing? Is this something for the children? These are several different things that you need to be thinking about, which will allow you to see how you want to deal with the contained piece and evaluate some things. Hey, Salma, how are you, dear? Now, a next thing when we think about decluttering, we think about, I look at it, how I declutter, I look at ways that I can create a routine for my life. So when I wash my clothes, dry them, for me, it's best for me to immediately wash, dry, fold, put up. If I don't, they're going to sit in the laundry room, on the couch, or upstairs in my bedroom. Establish a routine, whether it's a routine you're looking for. We all should establish daily, weekly, and monthly routines to streamline certain tasks. That's going to automatically help you declutter, and it's going to help you maintain consistency. That's key. Now, I don't know if you were here with me yesterday where I kind of spoke about the 80-20 rule. Also, you can even look at the, what is that? The, what's that, Pomodoro technique? I believe that's how they pronounce it. You can look at that. But the 80-20 rule to optimize your productivity and make the most of all of the available time. So for my mompreneurs that have infants, babies, you may need to do things and map things out around their sleep schedule. Now, most people would say when they're sleeping, you should be sleeping. But sometimes you need to still get some things done, right? So you look at your 80-20 rule. You look at, getting certain things done by a certain time frame and mapping things out and making sure that it fits your schedule and that it is a schedule that's feasible, one that's realistic, and there's things that you're working through that will help you achieve what it is you want to achieve. It also helps you really, really deal with that time management piece, and it helps you to learn to delegate or outsource. So let's talk about delegating and outsourcing as it pertains to decluttering. So I may have a lot of different things that I'm posting because I'm revving up for my upcoming events. I know that social media may need to be done. I have it listed right here. I've got it all right here on my page, but it's not organized. So for me, I use an all-in-one system where I take and I put it in an all-in-one system, and I give my VA or my admin access to it, which takes it off my plate. It takes it off the mental declutter part because I just don't have the time for it. Now I'm antsy and I'm frustrated. I give it to them. I delegate and I outsource. This will help you to identify the tasks that can be either paused, deleted, or not for the terminology. I don't use deleted, maybe scrapped, paused, given to someone else, right? It can help you even see when we think about learning how to delegate and outsource so you can clear that mental part of the clutter out. Think about who you can partner with. Think about family members that can take on different things. Think about employees. And of course, I just mentioned VAs and all of that can take that pressure off of you. Consider outsourcing tasks like cleaning, meal prepping, if you can, administrative work to free up your time for more important tasks. That's a form of decluttering, believe it or not. Now, I know that some of my moms, my mompreneurs, my single moms and my married moms may say, I can't afford to hire somebody for cleaning or meal prepping, or they may not want that. They may not want somebody to wash their clothes and all these different things like that, or they may not be able to afford it. But you know what? Look at where you're spending your money and where you're wasting. Are you eating out all the time? Girl, take that money and put it towards something that somebody can help you so you can go ahead and put things on track and declutter. Either pay them to declutter that house, pay them to take on a task that will take away from all of the things that you need to do, which is creating that sense of chaos, or that anxious spirit. Look at where you're spending money at, where you can redirect that money and put it in things like meal prepping and cleaning, or hire someone to clean for you. Get somebody to do your administrative task for you. That's going to help you declutter your mind so you can show up, mompreneur. It really is. It's going to help you. The next step when it comes to decluttering is to set boundaries. Boundaries are still real. Spoke about that yesterday. Establish clear boundaries between work and personal life. Why? It's going to help you prevent burnout. This way you can communicate your expectations and the limits to family members, friends, colleagues, people that are calling you at the last minute, asking you to put extra things on your plate that you just don't have space for. One thing that I had to learn very quickly when it came to me decluttering my email that I'm still going through and having someone work with me through it, I do get into a habit of getting on people's list. If I'm not going to that list and looking at what they're sending me, clearly it's not something that's important to me, right? So either A, I'm going to get off that list, or B, I'm going to take it out of my main email area, assign it to a folder for either me to go back through when I get the time, or for my VA or junior admin to go through and for them to communicate back with me. Hey, you signed up for this list. Are you using this? It's time to clean out this email box. You're missing, appointments. You're missing opportunities because that email is cluttered. Declutter that thing, right? Another tip of decluttering is to practice some self-care. What do I mean by that? Make time for self-care activities like exercise. Some people meditate. I read my Bible. I walk, and I look at how can I put all of this into my life? How can I make time for it? So for me, I used to get out and do lives while I was doing a walk with my husband or walking by myself. Okay, so that's a strategic approach. I do two things at once. I'm walking, I'm getting my exercise in, but I also strategically mapped in another task. Going live, hey, it's Danette Moss, business system strategist, AKA, right? The mompreneur, right? I understand I'm a busy mom, but I know I got to get this exercise in. One, it declutters me mentally. It declutters the fact that I'm antsy because I'm not getting my exercise in and my body is all over the place. The decluttering piece is my mindset is stuck on how can I do all of this, yet I got all these different things. Self-care is going to be so important. If you don't focus on you, who in the heck else is going to focus on you? It's a piece of it. It is a true piece. We think about the hobbies and maintaining a healthy work-life balance. I like to call it health-life blend because I don't believe there's real true balance in anything. I believe we're blending everything together. This will allow you to reduce the stress in your life. So self-care is going to be really, really important. If you're only focusing on everyone else and forgetting about you, you're going to have a serious problem. And then I also encourage you to review and reassess. I talked about it the other day, 30, 60, 90. And if 30 days is too long for you, 60 days or 90 days too long, do it every 2 weeks. This is for you. Forget about what everybody else thinks. This should be done regularly so that you can look at how you're progressing towards your personal as well as your professional goals. And then you can adjust them accordingly, prioritized ways, right? When we think about a to-do list, we need to be working from a prioritized to-do list, right? Then you get a chance to look at the possible strategic approaches that you can take, right? I said, okay, I may not be hiring somebody to cook for me. One, because I like to keep that in-house because I've been on a plant-based diet for years. And not everybody may cook and use some of the things that I use, but I wrap all that into my life. I schedule it in, I map it in, I plan it in. The pieces that had me overwhelmed, AKA clutter in the mind, I shifted it to the one daughter who's left home and my son, the 16 turning 17-year-old daughter. I've trained and I've taught her how to do certain things. So that takes that sense of overwhelm, AKA the cluttered mindset, trying to figure out how I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I've trained her to do certain things to take that off of me. Reassessing and reassigning, reviewing things. It's a strategic approach in everything we do. Believe it or not, we wake up on a day-to-day basis and we operate in some form of system, right? And there's a strategic way that we go about doing things, from the way we brush our teeth, from how fast we want to get out the door, etc. It's all part of it. This will help you maintain the focus, y'all, and ensure continued growth in your family life and growth and success in your business. You got to look at those things that have, one, your mindset decluttered, cluttered, your household cluttered, all these different things that may have you all over the place. It's time to get clear and declutter your way to success. It is truly, truly my awesome, honest, and I say awesome because decluttering is an awesome state of mind to be in, because you feel refreshed, you feel rejuvenated, and you don't feel frustrated. It's my real, true opinion that if you live a cluttered lifestyle, it only amounts to a frustrated lifestyle. If I walk in my door and I'm constantly stepping over something, at some point we need to stop and pick it up or decide maybe this needs to go somewhere because it's in the way. It's a sense of clutter, and it causes that negative energy to be down on your shoulders, right? So when we think about, as a mompreneur, when we think about decluttering our way to success, we don't not only need to think about clearing things up in our household, from our desk to our bedroom to our closets. We need to think about decluttering the mind and how we can begin to shift things. By following these steps, mompreneur, and of course my single women as well, you will gain a lot more clarity in your personal as well as your business or professional life. By reorganizing and prioritizing those things that suit you, it will help lead to increased productivity, of course, reduced stress, and a healthier work-life blend, AKA for some of y'all, balance. I really pray and hope that this did help you in some sort of way, and that you begin to declutter, first starting from the mind. Because if your house is cluttered and your desk is cluttered, trust me, there's some mindset things going on, and there's some clutter going on in the mind. There's some clutter going on in relationships that you need to release. There's some clutter going on in a lot of places that you need to go ahead and dust your feet and flee from. All right? All right. Thanks so much for joining me. This is Danette Moss, business systems and implementation strategist, AKA the strategy lady, over at Let's Talk Strategies, home of the SAS factor. And just in case you're wondering what SAS stands for, it does stand for simplifying, automating, systematizing, and streamlining. It also stands for one of my other favorite ones. I help you get your SAS on by literally creating your own systematic approach in your lifestyle. Put that business on rinse and repeat. Okay? Be strategic. Take some action. Simplify your life, girl. Get your SAS on. If you need help doing it, you're not quite sure where to start, even when it comes to this decluttering piece, getting that clutter out of your mindset, out of your life, out of all areas, whether it's physical or mental, go ahead and hit me up. You can go ahead and get on my calendar. I do have some spaces available for some discovery sessions, right? These are free discovery sessions. They last about 20 minutes. That's about all I can give you on that part. Because once we get through that part, now I'm going to be redirecting you to some other areas that can be very helpful for you. And you can schedule that over on my website, letstalkstrategies.com. I'll be excited and happy to help you get your SaaS on in your business, help you declutter your life, and help you get on the track to being the successful mompreneur that I know you desire to be. All right, y'all. Thanks again for joining me for yet another segment of Empowering Women Together. And this is day 23 of Women's History Month. And if you don't take anything that I've shared with you seriously, look and take on those two women that I shared with you. Think about what they did to launch themselves further into the stress-free life. Marie Kondo and Barbara Hemphill. Look at those things that those successful women did for their lives too, using the declutter techniques so that they can achieve success. Y'all take care now. I'll see you tomorrow for another segment of Empowering Women Together. All right now. Bye for now.